Your body has a stability switch. And it's been off for years. That moment of hesitation when you first stand up, that instinctive reach for a handrail, or the feeling that the ground isn't quite as trustworthy as it used to be. These aren't the inevitable symptoms of aging we've been told to accept. They are the clear signals of a deactivated biological system. For decades, the prevailing narrative has been one of inevitable decline, that our muscles weaken, our balance fades, and our confidence on our feet naturally diminishes as we get older. This story is not just disempowering. According to emerging research in neuromuscular science, it is fundamentally incorrect. The reality is far more hopeful. What we interpret as decline is actually a process of neuromuscular silencing. Your body possesses a sophisticated, innate stability system, a complex network of sensory nerves, fast-twitch muscle fibers, and neural pathways that work in concert to keep you upright and moving with confidence. This system operates largely below the level of conscious thought, making thousands of tiny adjustments with every step you take. However, a sedentary modern lifestyle, characterized by long hours sitting and a lack of varied movement, fails to provide the constant, low-level stimulation this system requires to stay active. Like a circuit that hasn't carried a current in a long time, the connections grow faint. The switch isn't broken, it's simply been left in the off position. This understanding represents a paradigm shift in how we approach strength and stability after 60. The goal is not to fight against your body's natural aging process, but to work with its inherent design. The solution isn't found in exhausting, high-impact workouts that can often lead to frustration or injury. Instead, it lies in the precise, strategic reactivation of this dormant system. It's about sending the right signals to remind your nervous system how to efficiently communicate with the specific muscles responsible for your stability. This process, known in scientific literature as neuromuscular recruitment, focuses on quality of movement over quantity of effort. By understanding this principle, you move from a passive acceptance of decline to an active role in reclaiming the steady, confident movement that is your biological birthright. The following modules will break down the exact 6 movements that form the complete protocol for flipping this switch back on, starting with the most crucial stabilizer you never knew you had. Stop trying to build strength. Start waking it up. This single shift in perspective changes everything about how we approach vitality and stability in our later years. The traditional fitness model, built on the no pain, no gain philosophy, operates on a fundamental misunderstanding of the aging body. It assumes we are empty containers that need to be filled with new strength, leading to workouts focused on fatigue and muscle failure. For a system that has grown quiet, this approach is like shouting at a complex machine. It creates stress without providing the precise instructions needed for repair. The breakthrough in modern functional gerontology isn't about building new muscle. It's about accessing the extensive strength you already possess through a process called neuromuscular recall. Your muscles are not independent actors. They are sophisticated instruments waiting for commands from the central nervous system. Every movement you've ever made has created a neural pathway, a kind of biological roadmap between your brain and your muscles. Over time, as daily movement patterns become less varied, the maps for crucial stability muscles begin to fade from disuse. The muscles themselves don't disappear, but the communication lines grow faint. This is the forgotten stability code, a set of precise movements designed not to exhaust, but to educate. These movements serve as deliberate, low-volume signals that travel these old pathways, reminding the neural network of their existence and importance. Research from the European Journal of Applied Physiology suggests that this targeted approach can improve neuromuscular efficiency by up to 300% in older adults compared to traditional strength training, because it addresses the root cause of the problem, failed communication. This methodology transforms exercise from a chore into a process of rediscovery. Each of the 6 movements in this protocol functions as a specific key, designed to unlock a different part of your dormant stability system. The focus is on the quality of the muscular contraction and the clarity of the signal, not on reaching a state of exhaustion. A study on sarcopenia and neural adaptation found that participants using these principles reported a greater sense of confidence and control in their daily movements, even before significant muscle growth occurred, because their bodies were relearning how to use the tools already available. You are not starting from scratch. You are reconnecting with a strong, capable physical self that has been waiting for the right instructions to re-emerge. The following modules will detail each of these 6 signals, beginning with the most fundamental one, the switch that controls your entire sense of being grounded and secure. The on switch for your balance is in your hip. Most people assume stability comes from their feet or their core, but the true cornerstone of a steady gait is a muscle deep on the outside of your hip called the gluteus medius. This muscle functions as your body's primary balance anchor. Its essential role is to maintain a level pelvis with every step you take. When this anchor is strong and actively engaged, walking feels smooth, secure, and effortless. However, prolonged sitting and limited lateral movement can cause this crucial stabilizer to become dormant. When the gluteus medius is inactive, the pelvis is allowed to dip with each step, creating a chain reaction of instability that travels up the entire body. This is a primary reason why walking can begin to feel unsteady and require conscious effort. The supported hip lift is the precise movement designed to reactivate this balance anchor. This is not an exercise focused on building muscle size, but on restoring a vital neural connection. The movement involves standing upright while holding onto a sturdy chair for support. The individual then lifts one leg directly out to the side, keeping the leg straight and the toes pointing forward. The critical technical point is to maintain an upright posture, preventing the torso from leaning in the opposite direction. This isolation ensures the work is focused on the targeted hip muscles rather than compensating muscle groups. The objective is not to achieve great height, but to feel a distinct engagement and often a slight burning sensation on the outside of the hip and upper thigh. Research in biomechanics has shown that targeted activation exercises like this are significantly more effective for improving functional balance in older adults than general lower body strengthening alone. A standard protocol for this movement involves performing 10 to 12 controlled repetitions per side. The tempo is crucial, a slow, deliberate lift, followed by a 2-second hold at the point of maximum comfortable range, and then an equally controlled lowering phase. This sustained contraction is what effectively wakes up the neural pathways and reminds the muscle of its vital stabilizing duty. By consistently performing this movement, you are not just strengthening a muscle. You are restoring the fundamental biological anchor that provides a stable platform for every single step you take, effectively flipping the switch back on for your foundational stability. Your body has a launch engine. Here's how to start it. The powerful quadriceps muscles on the front of your thighs serve as the primary engine for the most fundamental movement in human mobility, rising from a seated to a standing position. When this engine is fully engaged, transitioning from a chair is a single, fluid, and powerful motion. However, when the neural connection to these muscles weakens, the body is forced to compensate, often relying on momentum, swinging the torso, or pushing with the arms. This compensation pattern not only makes the movement feel like a struggle, but also fails to stimulate the primary muscles needed for independent mobility. The seated leg press is the specific exercise designed to directly target and reactivate this launch engine. Its primary purpose is to isolate the quadriceps, providing a clear and potent signal to these muscles without the complexity of also maintaining balance. The movement is performed seated in a sturdy chair with the back straight and feet flat on the floor. The individual extends one leg at a time, straightening the knee until the leg is parallel to the floor, and focuses on creating a strong, palpable contraction in the center of the thigh. The key to this movement's effectiveness lies in the isometric hold at the top of the extension. Holding the leg straight for a 2 to 3 second count maximizes the neuromuscular engagement, reinforcing the brain-to-muscle connection that is essential for generating power on demand. A typical training protocol involves completing 12 to 15 repetitions per leg. The focus must remain on the quality of the contraction and the control of the movement, rather than on speed. A study on functional independence published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy identified targeted quadriceps strengthening as one of the most significant factors in improving sit-to-stand performance and reducing the need for assistance. By consistently practicing this movement, you are not merely building strength in a vacuum. You are programming the exact muscular coordination required for effortless rising. This ensures that your body's primary launch engine is primed and ready to fire, transforming a daily challenge into a demonstration of confident, self-sufficient power. The 2-minute move that turns your legs into a power pump. While most people consider calf muscles primarily for movement, their most crucial role may be circulatory. Your calves act as your body's second heart. With every step you take, these muscles contract and compress the deep veins in your lower legs, creating a powerful pumping action that pushes deoxygenated blood back up toward your heart against gravity. This venous return system is vital for maintaining healthy circulation in the extremities. When calf muscle activity decreases, this pump becomes less efficient, which can contribute to feelings of heaviness, fatigue, and swelling in the legs and ankles by the end of the day. The controlled calf raise is the definitive exercise for optimizing this dual function of strength and circulation. This movement is performed by standing upright while holding onto a sturdy chair or wall for balance. The individual slowly raises their heels as high as possible, coming onto the balls of their feet, and then initiates the most critical phase, an extremely slow, controlled lowering of the heels back to the floor. This eccentric, lowering phase, performed over a count of 3 to 4 seconds, provides a profound stimulus. It not only builds strong, resilient calf muscles and Achilles tendons but also creates a sustained, deep compression of the venous plexus, significantly enhancing the circulatory pump's efficiency. Research in vascular health, including findings published in the Journal of Vascular Surgery, has demonstrated that regular calf muscle exercise can markedly improve calf muscle pump function and reduce venous pressure in the lower limbs. A standard recommendation for this exercise is to complete 15 to 20 repetitions. The primary focus should be on the deliberate, slow tempo of the lowering phase, as this is where the greatest circulatory and strength benefits are derived. By incorporating this simple movement into a daily routine, you accomplish two goals simultaneously. You build a solid foundation for powerful, stable steps, and you actively support your circulatory health, promoting lighter, less fatigued legs throughout the day. The master key to a powerful, pain-free back lies not in your abdominal muscles, but in the often neglected powerhouse of your posterior chain, the glutes and hamstrings. These muscles form the body's essential support system, responsible for hip extension, pelvic stability, and generating the power needed for activities like climbing stairs and bending forward. When this posterior network is weak or underactive, the lower back is forced to compensate, becoming overworked and vulnerable to stiffness and discomfort. This muscular imbalance is a primary contributor to nonspecific lower back pain and a feeling of fragility during everyday movements. The bridge exercise serves as the fundamental movement for activating and strengthening this critical posterior chain. Performed by lying on the back with knees bent and feet flat on the floor, the individual lifts the hips upward until the body forms a straight diagonal line from the knees to the shoulders. The essential technical component of this movement is the conscious, forceful contraction of the gluteal muscles to power the lift, rather than overarching the lower spine. This ensures the correct muscle groups are engaged, providing them with the necessary stimulus to resume their role as the body's primary stabilizers. Research in the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy has consistently shown that glute strengthening exercises like the bridge are highly effective for reducing lower back pain and improving lumbopelvic stability. A standard protocol for this exercise involves performing 3 sets of a sustained hold. The individual maintains the top position of the bridge, with hips lifted and glutes engaged, for 20 to 30 seconds per hold. This extended, isometric contraction is exceptionally effective for building endurance in the stabilizing muscles of the posterior chain. By consistently practicing the bridge, you accomplish a crucial functional goal. You train the glutes and hamstrings to act as the body's central power source and protective mechanism for the spine. This effectively locks in a foundation of posterior power, leading to more robust, pain-free movement and a significantly reduced reliance on the smaller, less capable muscles of the lower back during daily activities. Reboot your body's balance autopilot in 30 seconds. Most people perceive balance as a static ability, but it is actually a dynamic, high-speed conversation between multiple bodily systems. This balance autopilot integrates signals from your vision, your inner ear, vestibular system, and, most importantly, proprioceptive feedback from your feet, ankles, and legs. Proprioception is your body's ability to sense its position, movement, and action in space. When this integrated system is well trained, it operates seamlessly below your conscious awareness, making countless micro-adjustments to keep you stable. However, a lack of varied movement can cause this neural network to become less responsive, leading to hesitation and a conscious fear of falling. The single leg stance is the definitive exercise for recalibrating this entire system. This practice involves standing on one leg while using a sturdy chair or wall for light support. The individual focuses their gaze on a fixed point on the wall ahead, which helps stabilize the visual component of balance. The goal is not to stand perfectly still, but to allow the body to make and correct tiny, wobbling movements. These micro-adjustments are the physical manifestation of the nervous system actively retraining itself, rebuilding the neural pathways between the joints, muscles, and brain. A landmark study on fall prevention published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that consistent balance training, including single leg stances, was more effective than strength training alone at reducing fall risk in older adults. A recommended protocol is to hold the stance for 20 to 30 seconds per leg. The critical factor is not duration but consistency and quality of focus. Performing this exercise daily provides the frequent, specific practice the autopilot system requires to regain its speed and efficiency. By dedicating just 30 seconds per side to this practice, you are not testing your balance. You are conducting essential maintenance on the complex neural system that governs it. This directly translates to real-world confidence, creating a more reliable and automatic sense of stability when navigating uneven pavement, turning quickly, or getting in and out of a vehicle. The ultimate test of your body's remembered strength is not found in a gym, but in a movement you perform countless times each day. The simple act of rising from a chair. The controlled sit-to-stand is the master integration exercise that combines the reactivated power from your quadriceps, the stability from your hips and glutes, and the core control needed for seamless motion. This movement serves as the definitive benchmark for functional independence, as it directly translates to your ability to move through the world without assistance. When performed with slow, conscious control and without the use of your hands, it demonstrates that your neuromuscular system is fully coordinating its various components efficiently. The proper technique for this exercise begins with sitting tall toward the front of a sturdy chair, feet planted shoulder-width apart. The individual crosses their arms over their chest to eliminate any momentum from the upper body. The movement is then executed in two distinct, controlled phases. The ascent should take approximately 3 seconds, driven by the powerful extension of the legs and a slight forward lean of the torso from the hips. At the top of the movement, a brief pause confirms stability in a full stand. The descent is equally critical, also lasting 3 seconds, as the individual slowly lowers back to the seated position by pushing the hips backward and maintaining control throughout the entire range of motion. This eccentric loading builds immense functional strength. Research in geriatric physiotherapy consistently identifies the ability to perform a hands-free sit-to-stand as one of the strongest predictors of mobility and independent living. A standard protocol involves performing 8 to 12 of these controlled repetitions. The focus is exclusively on the quality, rhythm, and control of the movement, not on speed or fatigue. By mastering this integrated movement, you provide your body with the ultimate proof of concept. It is the culminating signal that confirms the forgotten stability code has been successfully implemented, transforming a daily activity into a powerful reaffirmation of your physical autonomy and remembered strength. The 10-minute ritual that reminds your body how to be strong represents the final, crucial step in translating knowledge into lasting physical change. Understanding the 6 individual movements is one achievement. Weaving them into a sustainable daily practice is what transforms temporary activation into permanent capability. This is where the principle of consistency definitively triumphs over intensity. The goal of this protocol is not to push your body to its limits in a single session, but to provide it with a clear, repeated signal that gradually rewires the neuromuscular pathways responsible for stability and strength. A brief, focused practice performed consistently creates more profound and lasting adaptation than sporadic, exhausting workouts that often lead to burnout or injury. The structure of this reactivation ritual is intentionally simple and sequential to maximize adherence and neurological benefit. The recommended sequence is to perform the 6 movements in the order they were learned, beginning with the supported hip lift to activate the balance anchor, followed by the seated leg press to power the launch engine. The third movement is the controlled calf raise to engage the circulatory pump, followed by the bridge to lock in posterior power. The fifth movement is the single leg stance to reboot the balance autopilot, culminating in the controlled sit-to-stand for full system integration. Performing the movements in this order ensures that each newly activated muscle group is prepared to support the next, creating a cumulative wave of stability through the body. The entire sequence is designed to be completed in about 10 minutes, making it an accessible commitment for any daily schedule. The profound effectiveness of this approach is supported by research into exercise neuroscience. A study on habit formation and motor learning found that short, daily practice sessions lead to superior neural consolidation compared to longer, less frequent bouts. By dedicating just 10 minutes each day to this ritual, you are essentially providing your nervous system with a daily rehearsal of perfect stability and strength patterns. This consistent repetition is what moves the newly awakened capabilities from a conscious effort to an automatic, subconscious competence. The ritual is not about adding another task to your day, but about reclaiming a small window of time to invest directly in your independence and confidence, ensuring the forgotten stability code becomes your body's new, permanent operating system. Your free stability blueprint is ready. Let's get started. You have now completed the most important step, shifting your understanding of what's possible for your strength and stability. You possess the complete, forgotten stability code, a powerful new framework that replaces the myth of inevitable decline with the science of neuromuscular reactivation. This knowledge is the foundation upon which you will build a more confident, stable, and independent future. The journey from theory to practice, however, is where true transformation occurs. To ensure this transition is as seamless and effective as possible, a dedicated resource has been created to guide your daily practice and solidify these principles into tangible results. This resource is your complimentary Stability Blueprint, a single-page, large-print PDF guide designed for clarity and immediate use. It distills the 6 key movements into an easy-to-follow format, complete with simple instructions and a daily checklist to track your consistency with a 10-minute reactivation ritual. The blueprint serves as your at-a-glance guide, eliminating any guesswork and allowing you to focus entirely on the quality of your movement. You can access this free resource instantly via the first link in the video description below. It is designed to be your practical partner, transforming the concepts you've learned into a straightforward, actionable plan. This journey is not one you need to take alone. We are building a community right here of people who are choosing to redefine what it means to grow older, focusing on activation and potential. Your experience is a valuable part of this collective effort. To join this growing movement, we would be honored to hear which part of this forgotten stability code resonated most deeply with you. Did rediscovering your balance anchor change how you feel on your feet? Was it the understanding of your second heart that brought a new perspective? Please share your biggest insight or the move you find most impactful in the comments below. Your contribution helps inspire others and strengthens our shared mission. I will be personally reviewing the comments to welcome you and engage with your experiences. You have the knowledge, you have the blueprint, and you now have a community ready to support you. The path to confident movement begins with a single step, and yours starts now.